how the moon rotates around the earth and then how the earth rotates around the sun? Do you know what makes that happen? And then you're like, no. Well, then don't speak about me and Kendrick. Well, nigga, what?
Let's go. You got the memory card.
Oh, shit, the memory card.
Wait, hold up.
Wait, is this a thing we're trying to do? We're trying to record this?
Huh?
Yo. All right. Let's get the dumb shit out of the way. Like, subscribe, comment.
Hey.
All right.
Don't forget to Hulk smash
Yeah,
that subscribe button.
Don't forget to smash the subscribe button. That's how they say it on my anime podcast, if you guys don't know.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that like button and comment.
You gonna smash it?
So,
that's nasty.
so for us, if you could just push it, that would be fantastic.
You can just click it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Not that big deal. Appreciate you. What's up?
Man.
What's up, brother?
Oh man, I'm ready to go today.
What's up, brother?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
Man, I had a hell of a week. I'm glad we're at the end of it. I'm glad we're doing this.
Right.
Because I would have rather been doing this than what I did all week. So,
Man.
I'm excited for our little convo today.
Yeah, I've been waiting all week to talk to you about this.
I've had feelings all week about it. So, yeah, it's been real out in the battlefield. A lot of shade and sneaks and subs and
Whole lot of shade. Oh man.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. You know how I feel about that shit. But before we get into the thick, all right,
The thick of
the
it.
thick of it. How you feeling? You good?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized this week.
All right.
Feeling like I'm back into my zone. You know.
All right.
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. So feeling good. Feeling great.
All right.
Feeling great. How are you?
I lost 2 pounds.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm on my way, people. Not that I fuck with Justin Timberlake, but I do want to bring sexy back.
Oh man.
So.
Yo, somehow I stumbled upon JT Super Bowl performance.
The one where he exposes Janet Jackson's titty?
Not that one. Not
okay.
That one. It was like a more recent one, I guess.
Okay.
That shit was... It's kind of trash. It's kind of trash.
Well, JT's been, as it turns out, because I'm not going to sit up here and act like I haven't been a Justin Timberlake fan.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He clearly courted black people very well early on in his solo career.
Somebody saw him and was like, you know what?
So,
trying to make him go off.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I didn't, but I will say...
I just say I wasn't out here,
Yeah.
you know?
Hitting that bye.
Yeah, exactly.
So...
But yo, go watch that video again and just watch JT looking crazy, hair up to here.
Oh man, they all look crazy.
Oh man,
and
3 of them dudes weren't even necessary in that group. I was like, why are you even here?
Oh, dude, yeah. Look, we don't need to go there. That's a different topic for a different day because I have some shit to say about how these little white kids was out here trying to be New Edition and shit like that. So, but
oh man.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to bring sexy back.
Sexy back.
But not the track. Just my body.
Yeah, your body. You don't know my body?
Yeah.
You don't know my body?
So that was my week. Excited to do this. I think. Yeah. I think I've had an interesting week for music because I didn't listen to a whole lot because I was caught up in in Lupe's Fiasco. Yeah, I did it.
Lupe's Fiasco.
I see that.
It's about to be a fiasco.
So I was a little caught up in that. So I didn't listen to a whole lot of music, but I did listen to some fun stuff.
Oh man, you've been caught in the storm. You've been caught in the storm.
I was really. I'm not even gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about it right now. We're gonna get into it. But
we're gonna get into it.
And but first, I want to know what you heard this week.
All
and
right.
Do you recommend I listen?
Well, okay. Based off our conversation last week, I don't know if I recommend that you listen to it.
All right.
You kind of told me you listened to it already. Didn't really like it. But I went back to listen to that Childish Gambino album.
Okay.
All right, which I think was Bando, Stone, and
one of your top 10 MCs.
Some in the He's not one of my top 10 MCs. He just has one of my favorite albums.
I don't know. That's what I heard.
All right, Bando Stone in the New World is what it's called by Childish Gambino.
All right, talk to me about
now,
it.
Look, I'm a Childish Gambino fan, so I'm going to lean that way. I'm going to slant Childish Gambino. Okay, I'm going to go that way, right? I definitely didn't know what to expect for this album. We talked about it a little bit last week because it did come out last week.
Yes.
But I didn't give it a full listen. I didn't live with it like I would have liked to. Yes. So I got to live with it this week.
Okay.
Right? Amongst other music. Again, we in the thick of the pod. I'm listening to a lot of music.
Okay.
Right? Ironically, even though I told you I didn't listen to a lot of things that came out this week.
Yeah, I've been asking you about it. You listen to that? You listen to that? I ain't listen to none of that shit.
To that, yeah.
All right. All right.
But I listened to this. And maybe it was because of this. Because I actually really, really like this album. Right? As a fan, right? As a supporter, whatever you want to say.
How much of this album do you like?
I only don't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs out of 17. What is that?
How many? That's quite a bit of that album, actually. Yeah. More than I was expecting.
Yeah.
How many trash bags you giving this?
2 trash bags. I'll be fair with my assessment. That's a fair assessment for me. 2 trash bags.
2 trash bags. Why?
2 trash bags because, ironically, and I will give it up to you, right? You were touching on the fact that like he can be very random sometimes, yes. Right? And it can take you out of the album, yes. Right? And I think there were just a few choices, and it's those songs that I don't like where he shifted me too much without giving me enough explanation, like getting me there, to where I was kind of like, okay, like it took me out a little bit. The full listening experience of the album I enjoyed, but it was certain parts where I was like, didn't have to take me there, right? What did we achieve here, right?
Yeah, nothing is what I took away. So I did actually hear a few more tracks off of that album, and I think there are tracks that I like.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are songs that I'm like, I like this song. Okay. I like that song. I like that song. But when you put this collective experience together, I'm out.
See, I liked it together, and I found myself like, sometimes when I listen to albums, there'll be chunks of the album that I like, right? I'm like, I like number 4 through 8, and then I kind of like just live with 4 through 8 for a little bit. Then I'll go back and listen to the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. But this one, I found myself being like, well, I'm gonna run it back again, and I ran it back yet again and again, and it was just kind of this thing where I think I picked up more as I kept going. I think initially I had just like the songs that I liked, and then I was like, okay, I'm waiting for that song that I like, but I also like this song that leads up to it, and I kind of see what you're doing here. Okay, cool. Like I definitely lived with it, and I think any album benefits from you living with it, if it's done that way to where it's supposed to be an album that you live with, because there are a lot of albums that are like playlisty.
That's what this felt like. This just felt like a playlist.
Okay.
It didn't feel like an album. It felt like a collection of songs that had nothing to do with one another.
Yeah.
I've said this about I want to say it was maybe Weeknd's last album.
Yeah.
It's the album with Party Monster on it. Which I like that song, by the way.
Party Monster.
Yeah. So whatever album that is. I'm just like, this just sounds like a collection of songs that The Weeknd was trying to get out. Yeah. That's how I feel about this song. This sounds like a collection of songs that Donald Glover had saved up, and he's like, I'm going to put this shit out as an album for my last Childish Gambino.
Yeah. And
we're going to make it a soundtrack. He might have had a better plan than that. I'm just saying how I received it from him.
Right. I think it's fair. I think it's a fair assessment. I think artists shouldn't rely on people to consume, people that are consuming the album to live with it, because then it's not gonna work.
Well, for me, I just tapped out. I was
I'm not. You're gonna tap out more likely than you're gonna try to live with it.
I'm in the minority.
Yeah.
I'm with Joe Budden on this. It's not good. So I'm in the minority on that.
So I liked it.
I've talked to a lot of people who like this album.
Yeah, so, I liked it. Yeah. But you know what I will say objectively, because I try to be objective, is that I can understand your point of view of it being that you will take certain songs that you like, but you don't like the whole thing or understand the whole thing. You're just like, I don't get how this was supposed to be a whole album. I can get that, and I can own up to that on my end, right?
All right.
So songs that I'm gonna shout out on this,
all right,
that were really my favorites on this.
Should I listen to these songs?
Oh yeah,
if I haven't,
for sure. Steps Beach, I think is
I like
incredible.
That song.
right? I think that's like perfect summertime right now.
I like that song.
Put it on with your boo thing, you know what I'm saying?
Boo thing.
This she my boo thing.
Exactly. Do
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
All right. Step speech is good.
Step speech is good. That's just one I kept going back to, and I really, really liked it. And again, shout out to Childish Gambino because he is able to tap into, having a better singing voice than most other rappers that try to sing, right?
He
definitely has some vocal capability.
And I'm gonna be fair to Childish Gambino, CB.
CB.
I'm gonna be no, that might be Chris Brown. Okay, I'm gonna be fair to Childish Gambino. I have a disappointment.
Okay.
Because I felt like he could have been this generation's Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Because he can rap, he can sing.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do either of them to his maximum potential to me.
Right.
So that's my bias. Okay. Not to say I don't like him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think because of the internet is a really good album, not top 10, but it's a good album.
So. Maybe you would have appreciated if I would have put it in a different list, right? I think I can.
Sure.
When we had our conversation, I thought about it more, and I agreed that for a hip hop album.
Yeah.
It's different than just a rap album.
Right.
We differentiated the two. So I can own up to those two albums not really being hip-hop albums.
Okay.
They took it more into the space where then rap was able to become the thing that it is now, for better, for worse. But, again, it was very much in
we talked about this off camera.
Yeah. It's going to be a whole thing off camera, so we're not even going to go here right now. But yeah, so, right?
Yeah.
So I can own up to that. Maybe... Next week I'll come with two.
All right, two replacements. All right. I got him.
So I wanted to do it on camera. Okay, I wanted to do it on camera. You're right. I can still love that album, those two albums, and they can go in a different space. They don't have to go on this.
That's
hip-hop.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, other shout out I'll give on this album was Yoshinoya, which was more of a slanting rap song.
Okay.
Right. And for fans of Childish Gambino, I think it really took them back to a lot of what they did like from him as a rapper. And it was just fun because I guess it's nostalgic in a way. It almost touched into the nostalgia feel a little bit in terms of his approach, his flow, and just what he was talking about. It's very much just like kind of, he's always slanted a little bit, kind of like, I'm going to have some witty, funny kind of bars in there that are going to be like, little... All right, that was I see what you did there.
Yeah, okay.
Yoshinoya.
I see.
Ties into the title too. That's hilarious, right? So he did that. He really did a fan service on that song, but I also really appreciated it just for it being a song like a good rap song. I just liked it. I liked it on him. I liked the bars. I liked what he was talking about. Sounded like maybe he was shading Drake. Everyone is at this point who doesn't.
Yeah, if you ain't shading Drake for clout, then
hey man, you might as well get to it, and that's going to tie into our topic later.
Yeah,
so.
Before this beef burn out, man, everybody get the clout out.
There you go. Go ahead. It's okay.
It's all right.
So shout out Childish Gambino. Those are definitely two songs that I would recommend checking out.
Right.
Going back to, we agree on Step Speech.
Step Speech is good.
Yeah, that's
a good song.
So.
That's a good song.
That's mine. What about you? What about
all
you?
Right. So, to be a hypocrite, the best thing I heard this week was Blxst.
Yeah.
What was his most recent album that came out a couple weeks ago?
Shout
so
out
funny.
Blxst.
Yeah, it's so funny too because how I came to this album, I was just like looking for stuff.
Yeah.
I'll always come find you. Blxst.
Okay.
So I was just looking for. I was making a playlist that was supposed to be like a summer vibey West Coast style playlist, and then I was like, oh okay. Faith of a Mustard Seed came out.
Right.
He had one of my favorite tracks that I heard this weekend, by the way, and it had Blxst on it. So I was like, oh, let me go back and see what else Blxst has out. So I went back and I was like, oh shit, this album just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dope. So I put that on, and it was the best thing I heard this week. Admittedly, I did not listen to a ton of music this week.
Okay.
But it was the best thing that I heard. Similar thing to Childish Gambino. There is a lot of different styles of music on this album. And I think what he was going for to try and bind that all together was like you're listening to the radio.
Oh, okay. I dig that.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not saying I liked all of the songs. I could understand the concept.
Right.
And the songs that I did like, I loved.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's got a He's got an Afro beats track on there, but he didn't do the appropriation Afro beats accent.
Yeah, exactly.
He just did.
All we're asking
So
for.
he
Be
didn't
you
do
on the Afro beats
on the
track.
Afro beat.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be a
Burna Boy or something.
Exactly. I don't need you to be Wizkid on the
Wizkid,
Afro beats track, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that track was one of my favorites.
Nice.
The very first track, Paper Out with 2 Chainz, was really good. Like I really like that. So yeah, that was the best thing I heard. Okay. And again, in keeping with that idea that I don't like albums where there isn't a clear style to it.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's trying to show the range of how much music they can do, which I don't appreciate, because that means you're not doing any of it very well.
Yeah, no, I think everyone's trying to cast a wide net, both for the reason of like building a wider fan base or appealing to more fan bases, like more people that are looking for different types of things.
I mean, he's got a reggaeton song on this album, Blxst does.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, and the wife was feeling that.
Nice.
She was like, "Oh shit."
She was
like, "Oh shit."
What's this right here?
Okay. And then I got in trouble. She was like, "How come you don't be playing your Vibras playlist no more?" And I was like, "Well."
And then you got into all that.
It's like,
because I'm not feeling the Vibras.
Yeah, no Vibras right now. But no, so he had a wide range of music styles. Yeah. But you know, you've heard the phrase "jack of all trades." The second part of that is master of none.
Yeah.
And I think that if you go and do this, then you can't master every single style of music.
No, it's impossible.
If you want to be inspired by music or culture, I'm going to double down on that a little later. So if you want to be inspired by culture,
Lord, I know where it's going.
Then that's okay.
Yeah.
But to go and then like, okay, I'm gonna make that music and make an album or make a few tracks on it. I'm not with that shit. I'm like, just do what you do.
Ironically, too, when people do that, where they go and step in that space, but then put something out, they also leave as quickly as they came in.
Exactly.
And so there's no appreciation. I guess, again, you can interpret consuming other types of sounds, and then how do you interpret that into your style of music?
Yeah.
There plenty of people have done that, and we champion them for that, but there's a delineation between the two. There's a separate kind of situation happening.
Yeah, right? I'll liken it to the first Black Panther, the soundtrack for that, not the Kendrick one. The actual soundtrack to the movie.
Like the movie, the scoring of the movie.
Yeah, the scoring of the movie. And I can't remember Ludwig.
It was the same dude who did the Childish Gambino. He works really close with Childish Gambino.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up right quick.
Ludwig Van Goren Doran Morin.
I'm gonna look him up just so I don't fuck his
Born.
The nearest tech tricks. Ludwig Göransson is his name.
Göransson.
All right. So in doing that, he went and he looked at a lot of music from the African continent, right? And he incorporated that into the score while also acknowledging this music comes from here. But because this was an authentically Black music, because Wakanda was an African nation, we wanted to make sure that the music and soundtrack was a little bit more modern, but included the elements of the culture.
Right.
I can appreciate that because he's scoring the Black Panther.
Right.
This makes sense. But if you're just doing Bando and the Bandos, whatever the fuck his album is called, and
come on,
and then you, like you said, and then you dip into a genre, and then you dip out just for the track or two like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And because the inspiration comes from that's what people have done to, not just like hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
We know that rock and roll was appropriated away from it. We know that this happens to us, and now we're the ones doing it too. So I've got a larger problem with this that is beyond music.
Yeah.
But to go back to Blxst,
right.
The album was good, but it is in that same vein of there is a lot of different styles. So strap in because you're gonna get a lot of different, little different music. But if you put yourself in the mindset of I'm supposed to be listening to the radio, then it'll make sense.
Which I think is a clever way to approach that because, again, I guess it still plays into the playlisty kind of thing, but you're making it your theme. Mm-hmm. So at least there's a thematic connection there, as opposed to it just being like my 20 best songs, and they're not your 20 best songs.
They're just 20 songs.
Yeah, they're just 20 songs, right?
So there's 20 songs. So check out Blxst. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why do people in your age group put X's where A's and O's and stuff should be?
Oh, because his name is Blxst.
Yeah, so like if she just put an I in there, then I wouldn't have had to guess what the fuck her name was. But I'm looking at Blxst, no worries, and I'm just like next worries, like
NX worries.
And I'm like, look, I'm already old. Don't try and make me look fucking old by changing words and how they're spelled.
Come on, man.
so
because vowels are a lot of work,
All right, moving on. I'm done. Vowels are a lot of work.
One last thing while we're on Blxst.
Yes.
It's hilarious because when I first heard Blxst, I thought he was like British. I don't know why. Like his voice, like he has a very unique voice, right? At least I think he does. And it sounded to me like the singing voice of a British man. And then when I found out, like, he's just West Coast, like...
So, yeah, fucking South Central dude.
Yeah, he's just like, he's from here. So I was like, oh, okay. I had no idea.
So
I don't know why.
You know what I took away from listening to this album? Because I listened to it front to back.
Yeah.
This is, this style of rapping, singing that he's doing for this album. Yeah. It reminded me of Drake.
Really?
Except I can listen to all of the music. So that was the big, like, oh, okay, I can actually listen to this. Drake I can't listen to. Yeah. All the way. I can pick out songs and I'll be like, oh, that was hot.
Yeah.
But you can toss the rest of this. This album I actually could stand to listen to, even songs that I wasn't feeling. I was like, okay, I'm just listening to see what he was trying to do. But it very much feels like a Drake influence thing. Other people are doing it too, like a Boogie with the Hoodie. He adds the auto-tune, so it gives his voice some difference. But he's essentially doing the same thing. It's a sing-songy rap kind of thing that's going on, and that's what I took. I was like, this sounds like it sounds like Drake. This reminds me of Drake, I guess, is the best way to say that.
Like a Drake approach, I guess, in terms of how he mixes the two in.
Yeah. But LA did it better, just so we're clear. Just so we're clear.
Shout out Blxst. Shout out Blxst. Let's go.
Blxst. It was a good album. Check it out. Everybody check it out.
Blxst.
Shout out Blxst.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'm about to get real old, man. Shit, I got grays coming out of my beard. About to get real old, man. All right.
So how do you want to get into this, man?
I mean, I've just got to get it off.
You got to get off your chest.
I got to get it off my chest. All right. So I'm going to give some background here. To people who don't know, who aren't keeping up with the mainstream media.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you ISO. I'm gonna pass you the ball. Do your work.
All right. I'm not about to get into everything that Lupe has said or done, but I got some feelings about Lupe Fiasco.
It's been a fiasco.
It's Lupe's.
It's been a fiasco.
Lupe's fiasco.
Call me Lupe because it's a fiasco. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. All right. So, The Cool was in my top 10.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Which is why this all makes this even more interesting because you literally just gave him shouts last week.
I was like, one of the most incredible hip hop albums I have ever heard in my life, right?
And I quote, you were like, that album was fucking incredible.
Yeah, it was. Like, those were my exact words.
Yeah.
Not too long after we filmed that, we walked out of here.
Yeah.
Turned on fucking YouTube. And saw Lupe is fucking shading Kendrick for nowhere. And it's been a long while of Kendrick shade, whether he wants to admit it or not. Like, I don't give a fuck. Okay.
I thought it was pretty clear that he doesn't like Kendrick.
Yeah, we all. So the whole world took away that you don't like Kendrick, but we got it wrong. Okay. Okay.
So the whole world is
wrong. Okay. Everybody can't be crazy, Lupe. Yeah. Everybody can't be crazy. Yeah. Okay. So. If we all received it like you didn't like Kendrick or you were shading Kendrick for whatever reasons we have concocted, then you have put that energy in the world because it's not like we're out here like 2 Chainz hates Kendrick Lamar. Nobody's doing that.
No.
So you have put the energy out there that you don't like Kendrick Lamar, and that's okay. Yeah. or that you at least don't rock with, dude. Like, I won't say whether you like him or not, because then we get into the how you gonna tell me how I feel kind of shit.
Semantics.
Yeah,
we're not getting into semantics.
But you at minimum don't rock with Kendrick Lamar is the way I would say that. And so as I was watching what happened, I don't actually care that if he thinks Drake is a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar. A lot of people feel that way.
Right.
I'm a little surprised, given how intellectually superior he thinks he is to everyone, that he would choose that style of rap versus something a bit more conscious and pro-black. So that
kind of weird.
Yeah, that is weird to me, but I'm not going to shade him or say anything bad about his preference in rap.
Right.
I think he's 100% wrong, but we're not going to argue that.
Right. You're not going to argue preference when that comes down solely based onto that person. And for whatever reason,
and he prefers Drake because he doesn't fuck with Kendrick Lamar, whether he wants to say that or not. That's fine.
Which is what it sounds like. It's really what it sounds like.
So that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. All right. The problem I had is the homies were sending me all kind of spaces, and I was watching and I would listen to them, and I didn't like how, and it disappointed me. Yeah. Like I was like in my feelings, like I can't believe this. Yeah. This is like one of, I thought, the best MCs to do it. Yeah. And he is literally in spaces telling people they are not smart enough to have hip hop conversations with him. Right. Like we're fucking curing cancer or sending rockets to the fucking moon right now. You don't have a PhD in hip hop. Like if that's not one of the most condescending things that I've ever heard, or something you should have a fucking be proud of, a PhD in hip hop. Nigga, I've been listening to hip hop since fucking 89. Right?
It just comes out corny. It's like a corny argument. It's just like, what, do you have a PhD in hip hop? Like, all right, first of all, relax.
First of all, calm down. Second of all, this isn't the pandemic. I don't need to be a fucking virologist to figure this out.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
You're talking about music that you put out for me to consume and then react to, right? And so I just didn't like how condescending he was to the people who started pressing him on this Kendrick thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it started sounding to me like he was getting caught up, and when it felt like bully behavior. You started catching him up, and then he would just do this well, do you understand how the moon rotates around the earth and then how the earth rotates around the sun? Do you know what makes that happen? And then you're like, no. Well, then don't speak about me and Kendrick. Well, nigga, what?
How do we get there?
How the fuck these two things vibe? That this don't make no sense. What the fuck is you talking about?
The argument gets so extrapolated, all the way out to something where he can find his out, right? Where he can find a way to be like, and that's why you don't know what you're talking about.
And that's why you don't, because then he's bringing up something that he's very familiar with. Yeah. And then he's finding something that he's familiar with that you're not familiar with, to leverage that to say you can't have this conversation with me because you're not on my intellectual level.
Yeah, he gets you into his safe space, right? Mm-hmm. Where he feels confident to be able to navigate that conversation and express his points of views and make someone else look lesser than. Yes. Right.
So on Sunday afternoon and Monday, a little bit of Tuesday morning.
And Wednesday.
Because he just kept doing these interviews. I was like, nigga, stop. I'm done. Okay, we get it. He just kept going. And then Thursday evening, it's like, the fuck is going on? Why do you keep talking about this?
It was Thursday and we were on a phone call together and you were still like, I'm still upset.
I'm still upset. Yeah, because he was on some sucker shit. Is the way I'll say that. He was on some sucker shit. And I was just like, and he didn't want to admit that. And that's okay. I'm like, look. We're all experiencing this as sucker shit. Again, we are all experiencing this as some sucker shit. Yeah. You can not. That's fine. It's okay. I'm not trying to put a narrative out there that Kendrick and Lupe have beef. I don't know that. I don't know if them two talk. I don't know anything. Yeah. I do know, however. Yeah. Samurai dropped a few weeks ago, and this nigga's got a tour out.
Yes, sir.
And what better way to get pub for your shit than to latch on to the rap beef of the year. Yeah. This is another narrative he has completely shot down. Right? No, that's not it. And I'm like, nigga, please.
I might be jumping the gun here. I think we can get to this point later, but is he gonna go to the next RNC too? Like, is he gonna do that too? Like, because it just sounds like you're willing to say whatever.
You're willing to say whatever.
You know what I mean? Like, it
out.
really gave me that. It really gave me you
set it up there next to Amber Rose.
It really gave me Amber Rose vibes, right? Because it was really like, I'm just gonna say whatever to kind of get some clout.
Look, let's be honest. We do this show on the interwebs.
Yeah.
The algorithms were algorithming.
Yeah.
Right? And so everybody was rocking with the pub of that beef.
Right.
That beef allowed people to do
Everybody
a
was
lot.
eating.
Everybody was eating. And so if he is doing that, it may have been unintentional.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter your intention. What matters is the result.
Definitely.
Right? And so this feels very clout chasey
Yeah.
to even bring up the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef at all.
Right.
That had nothing to do with you other than to say, yeah, the tracks were good, or I prefer Drake over Kendrick, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But to go in the way he's been doing it and to continue to do things the way he was doing it, I was like, this feels very clout chasey.
For sure. It immediately came off like that to me as well. Because, again, like we identified, he already has kind of let his opinion be known about Kendrick with under the veil. Like, I don't hate Kendrick.
I don't have no problem with dude.
I don't have no problem with him.
Nigga short though.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
why'd you just throw that jab in there?
What was that jab? Yeah, I don't have no problem with Kendrick. Music is whack though.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about your shoes, bro. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what are we talking about?
Not for me though. Yeah, it's not for me.
It was. I was disappointed. I was supremely disappointed to see this is how Lupe moves.
Yeah.
And this is how he talks down to people.
Right.
Right? Like, if somebody in the industry was like, hey, no, and you don't get this, because this is what happens in the industry. This is how you make this shit pop. I'd be like, cool, knowledge. I got to sit down and shut up. I don't know nothing. I'm not in the music industry like that.
Right, and I don't think we speak from the point of view of being like knowledgeable of the inside workings of the music industry.
Right.
We're kind of representing the rest of society, the rest of the supporters.
We're here for the people.
Yeah, we're really here for the people. My fellow Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Lupe was on that sucker shit this week. So I was disappointed to see how he was moving.
Yeah.
And then when he got on the spaces with Joe Budden.
Yeah.
And then he completely backed off. I was like, oh, you were definitely on some sucker shit.
Yeah, for sure.
He was definitely
on
some sucker shit.
Did we not feel, you felt like that from the beginning? That
I felt like that off the rip. The first Spaces thing I heard, I was like, what is this bitch assness I'm listening to right now?
Just the way it sounded, the way he was coming off, right?
Yeah.
It was very much in the realm of bitch assery.
Oh my God. I was like, and this is Lupe Fiasco? Like, I was confused.
Yeah.
And so now that I've had to sit with my emotions for a week, hoping he would go away, which he did not all week. He was like, nah, I'm doubling down, homie.
Like, stop, please. Just stop.
Stop.
Well, I still have you in my top 10. Please stop.
Yeah,
you know what's crazy is like we were a pro Lupe.
We're a pro
pod.
Lupe group here.
We had him on our outro. We
I think Lupe makes incredible music.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Some of it is pretty complicated. A lot of metaphors.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I'm like, it's good music overall.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Why do you think Lupe doesn't like Kendrick or doesn't mess with Kendrick?
Well, for sure the narrative's out there, and I think I definitely agree with it that, he feels like he's like, I think Lupe has gripes with a lot of rappers out right now. Like they bit his style, and he doesn't get enough credit for it. I feel like he very much always, to me, sounds like someone who feels like he hasn't gotten the credit that he thinks he deserves. Which, I am saddened to hear that, because I think like you're renowned. Like we appreciate you, right? But he doesn't feel it enough, right? And for me, sometimes I felt like Lupe's always been that person who, like, he can never get enough appreciation. It's never gonna be enough for him, and I don't know why.
There is not enough appreciation for Lupe Fiasco to feel appreciated. Interesting.
It would be like, I would ask Lupe, like, what would be your perfect like scene of like appreciation from whoever,
Lupe will tell you he doesn't need no appreciation from nobody.
And I think that's just because he's jaded at this point. Like, I just think he's gotten to that point, right? and he's not willing to own up to the fact that like he probably does feel that way, right? Like he needed.
So, what if I pose to you that Lupe made a style of rap, of hip hop,
Yeah.
that was supposed to be like that top shelf whiskey that you're like, I can't afford that, right? So
Right.
only a few people get to experience that, and when they experience it, they're like, this is really good. But the people who are on the lower shelves are like, shit, I don't know no shit about Lupe. I've heard a couple of tracks that he does, and it sounds fine, but I don't get to experience no Lupe.
Yeah.
I feel like he put himself, at least the way he's formulated his rap, he's put himself in that like I'm the exquisite MC,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But in doing that, you lost the people who needed you to dumb it down.
But I feel like I guess maybe we can discuss this a little bit here. I felt like he made himself exquisite as he also was kind of transitioning in his career, because like my sister loved Lupe. Like there's people that love Lupe like all different types of Lupe. Lupe's been around for a long time. He put out a lot of albums.
The Food and Liquor came out in 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
Dude. And he's put out a lot of different sounds. He's gained a lot of different fans, right? And again, we're talking about like the top, now he's put himself in the top shelf, where I only want to have exquisite conversations about rap and intellectual, like whatever it is, right? However he presents that, but it's like I guess I've seen it in my own perspective, him growing into that and then putting himself there, and I thought he was content being put there and being like, I can't be bothered by like the other stuff going on.
I feel like a couple things have happened. I feel like he's done a thing that lets you know he's into Japanese culture.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. He even said in one of these things he identifies as Japanese culturally or some shit. I'm paraphrasing that. Don't quote me.
What does that mean?
I actually also admire Japanese culture.
Yes.
I do not identify as Japanese, nor would I ever think I am a samurai or any other kind of appropriation level shit that Lupe is doing here. Him being so pro-black, this makes no sense to me that he's like talking to this. Right. The things he was saying, the things that were coming out of his mouth as I was listening, I was having like a out of body experience. Like this is not Lupe Fiasco that is talking right now.
So you were going through what Kanye fans were going through a couple years ago.
This is fucking AI. This is somebody. This is Drake with AI Lupe.
Yeah.
In fucking spaces.
Lupe's is minding his own business.
Yeah. And Lupe's trying to he's trying to figure this out right now. That's what I was feeling. But then when Joe Budden got on and it was like Lupe, and I was like, all right, well, okay. And I think after listening to him, I'm like, look, you think you're the rapper's rapper. And he's an incredible MC, and we can get into the messy conversation of who would wash who in a rap battle, Lupe or Kendrick. Like, not a conversation I want to have, because Lupe ain't trying to get no battle, because he ain't trying to get outside with Kendrick.
No.
According to him.
No.
So we don't need to have that conversation. But I do want to I want to understand how we got here.
Right.
And the only thing that my mind can reconcile is, Lupe, you were chasing clout, bro, because you got an album and a tour coming out, and you needed niggas talking about you. And so in order to get them talking about you, you was like, all right, I'm gonna put this shit out in the air. But you probably don't feel half the way you feel about anything.
It's not like he didn't also, like, he knows what his presence does in a spaces, and what he says is gonna get out there.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you can't hide behind the veil either of being like, well, I was in a spaces. I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to make it public. It's like, no, you're just not gonna go the corny way of putting like an Instagram post, right? But you're gonna go in a public space, a public platform where your voice is then gonna be pushed out, and that narrative that you're putting out is gonna be pushed out to the rest of the masses.
Yeah.
Right? And you're gonna be able to work off of that.
Yes.
Right? You'll be work off of that clout. Right? And so for us to call you out on it, right? It shouldn't be seen as a slight. I hope he doesn't think this is a slight. If he, I don't know, he probably won't see this, but you know,
and
I
if
would
he
hope
did,
that
I don't give a fuck. Come on, Lupe,
Yeah.
we could talk about it. I'm not getting in your, I'm not getting in your spaces so that
Yeah.
you can just kick me out when I press you. Like I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah.
if you want to have a conversation where we both can talk, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, I think it'd be productive, right? I think we could have a productive conversation again because I think this stems from deeper things.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I really do think that. I think I won't speak for him in saying that like he looks at Kendrick like getting a lot of the benefits of things that he established himself, whether it is like tie-ins to Japanese culture, whether it is certain styles of rap, whether it is being able to lead forth and being 100% authentic, whatever it is that it might be that he feels like this also comes from me and I'm not being appreciated for it. And that's why I'm salty. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate that forever and ever, but it does come off that way.
I'll say this, and then we can move off of Lupe. Because after I was able to move off of Lupe, I was having a bigger thought, a larger thought.
Okay.
In one of the spaces, Lupe had mentioned that he was that he don't be on social media, and after his Samurai tour, he was gonna delete his social medias. Okay. And then I was like, okay, so clout chase, great. We can move on because I don't fuck with social media either.
Yeah.
And so if you start to follow me on social, you are likely dealing with someone else, or I am interacting in a very like high level with it. Like I'm just like, okay, who said what? What's going on? This is what I want to put out there as my image. Yeah. But I am not on social media interacting with the internet. That is one of the dumbest things I think you could do.
Right.
Right. And so when I heard that, I was like, okay, so clout, it's fine. Like we're good. We're good. It's clout.
Well, like clout is clout at the end of the day. No matter how you want to spin it, we just mentioned earlier, like we have to navigate this space as well, right? And clout is gonna be clout, and whether we like it or not, right? But it's also what you do with that and how you do it at that point, because all internet is clout chasing in some way, shape, or form.
Clout chasing,
right? And so
I'm gonna shit. If somebody say something that's gonna make this motherfucker pop bigger than what it's going, like I'm gonna say that shit too.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here. I'm not here to say that you shouldn't try and eat off of the piece of the pie.
Right.
Like you should do that. But when you do that, when you take a bite of the pie, and then you got like
a little
you got raspberry juice sliding off your mouth, and we're like, Lupe, did you eat that clout pie?
Yeah.
And then you go, you know how to bake pies? Then don't talk to me about no fucking pies.
Do you know where pies originate?
Yeah, exactly. From? Do you know where pies? No, I don't know. Then you can't talk to me about no fucking pies. Okay.
Did you know that pies are racist?
Pies identify as we're done. All right.
Put the gun down. I'm out of here.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. Like, Lupe, put the gun down. You're pointing a gun.
I'll air out this whole motherfucker right now. I don't care. I don't care. And you're just like, all right, okay, relax.
But
we would have given you some.
You didn't have to sneak bite it. You could have just had some. So, yeah, it got me. It got me thinking. All right. Because I started thinking just about that dynamic between Lupe and Kendrick, and I was just like, yeah, has Kendrick had a better career? I think he was able to be a higher level MC, but also appeal to like people who just the masses who consume hip hop in whatever way they consume, and I think that's why he's had more success. Yeah. But then I started thinking about like everybody that's beefing right now. I woke up one morning, I saw a little thing with Soulja Boy was like, Drake, if you shot at me, nigga, I swear to God, right? Like, and I was just like, and I was like, okay, so he's not even sure. He's like, I heard you mention my name. I don't know if this was a diss or a stamp, but nigga, it better be a stamp. And I was like, well, okay. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Is everybody just on 10 right now?
He didn't even do the work to find out, you know? He didn't even do the work to be like, is he dissing?
Is he dissing? He ain't call Drake. Hey Drake, was that a diss or you get? Like,
should I be mad or
are we
good?
Are you ready for another one already? Goddamn! All right. And even though Soulja Boy kind of started that, like, hey Drake, why you let Kendrick wash you or whatever he said. I'm always paraphrasing. I'm gonna steal from Joe Budden. Yeah. Do your own fucking research. Exactly. So I'm always paraphrasing, but so I know that they I know that they like he was going back and forth like, hey, Kendrick washed you, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And so I was like, all right, whatever. If Drake snuck him, then whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
But then I was like, shit, like Meg got beef.
Yeah.
Fucking nigga got beef with Meg. Ice Spice, who I was actually gonna come in here and tell you that's the best thing I heard all week, but I haven't listened to one fucking track, so I was just gonna fuck with you.
I was about to say, what?
But Meg got beef with Nicki. Nicki got beef with other people. Lotto got beef. Like everybody's beefing right now. Right. Male, female, none of this matters. Everybody. Rick Ross is trolling everybody. 50 Cent is trolling the world. Like you know what I mean? Like it just feels like. Yeah. It feels like what rap has turned into right now is love and hip hop.
Definitely. Rap is definitely in an episode of Love and Hip Hop, like perpetually. It just like doesn't stop.
Right, yeah.
The season doesn't end.
The season never ends. Like I never get like, this was quiet and nice.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And I can reflect on that crazy season.
National Geographic rap. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, can I get that fucking BBC that BBC rap where they do this, you know, BBC does the Saturday like ocean fucking shit where they're all like, oh, and these are sea turtles and everything. Yeah, and I'm like, let's get some of that going right now. Can I learn something a little bit?
Yeah. No, it's just been constant throwing the glass.
Oh my God. And it felt like, so when Basketball Wives came out, none of them niggas actually still played basketball. They might have played basketball. They never played, like they weren't playing basketball now. Like
They were in the league.
They were in league. These were top tier basketball players. Yes. These niggas were not playing basketball today.
They were probably retired, not on a team anymore. Maybe still kind of in the free agency.
So similarly to Love and Hip Hop, that's how the rappers, except for the producers, like I know like Hitmaker and a few other producers were in the various seasons of Love and Hip Hop, right? But it felt like the rappers that were in that show were like the basketball players, like they were players. They were in the league.
No, they were very much in rap.
They're very in rap.
Yeah, they were.
But they're not like in rap.
Yeah, they're not like, you know, the album's not coming out next week. Very
yeah,
much
they
like,
were just
inactive since 2015 kind of thing. You know, like, it was like one of those.
You know, made 30 million in the career. You know, should have some money in the bank.
Everything was like past tense. Right?
Yeah, it was. Like, it all felt past tense.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, but there was a separation in the music. But now I feel like that shit has bled over to the music. Now the music is doing Love and Hip Hop live and then releasing albums about the Love and Hip Hop mess.
For sure. Like it's just and maybe that's a function of, you know, internet being so prevalent to the industry and everything being so tied in to where it's like how can it not be a Love and Hip Hop episode when it's like, again, we go back to clout chasing. Like, if this thing happens, I am going to talk about it. I'm going to tie it all in together. I'm going to use that real life situation and maybe hyperbolize it to then be able to benefit off of it. I think that very much is happening constantly. I hear this all the time. Everything is a rollout. Everything
is a rollout.
Oh shit, Big Sean's in the hospital. I don't want Big Sean to be in the hospital, by the way. Yeah, knock on wood.
Wish you health, Big Sean.
Yeah, wish you health. But
Can't
like,
wait for your album.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's in the hospital. Oh, his album's out on Friday. It's just like, what are we doing? Is it just like, can nothing be just your life anymore? Like, you have to make it also a part of like your art and to benefit off of it. I don't know.
I'm really disappointed in everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm listening to everybody's music. Like I went back to Megan. And I liked the second half of that album after a few more listens. The first, I'm still kind of like, but I ended up like, oh, okay, I'm kind of feeling the second half of this album. This isn't bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like consuming the music. I'm not gonna listen to Ice Spice. But
I'll listen to Ice Spice.
Yeah, and then you can let me know that I'm not gonna listen to Ice Spice. But I'm like trying to consume it, and then there's just all this like reality TV drama that I'm like, what in the fuck is happening right now? Why is everybody so hateful? Can we just turn the temp down on rap just a little bit?
You know, I think before the beef that shook up the world, right?
That was the beef.
Right. Between Kendrick and Drake. I think that this was, of course, still going on where there was all these like little mini beefs. And I think rap and hip hop culture is so tied to beef like the big beefs that we think about that like really established, like whether it was Tupac and Biggie, Jay-Z and Nas, right? And I think people wanted to have that without having hit entirely, right? So that was like the difference between Drake and Kendrick as opposed to like Soulja Boy and
well, we can't let's not do Soulja Boy because Soulja Boy invented rap and everybody's biting his style. Okay, so we can't do Soulja Boy. He's the originator.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. Don't. Hey.
Put the gun down, Soulja.
Don't
sorry.
fuck with Draco.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Big Draco. Sorry.
So, I'm being facetious, by the way, people. When we look at the beefs,
yeah,
we know why. We think we know why Biggie and Tupac had beef in the first place.
Yeah.
Right, and there was that whole East Coast West Coast vibe
that really
fermented that. But they were trying to piece it up at the end of that.
Yeah.
And going back to Cali is a great show that hey, we were trying to piece this up.
Yeah.
Fire track, by the way.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, they were killed.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you get to the Jay and Nas stuff, we know why that was a thing. That makes sense. And these niggas weren't making music together before.
Yeah, it was clear.
And it was a little while after that before they actually started making music together and doing shit together, right?
Yeah.
50 and Ja, we understand.
Right.
Right? So there's all of these things. Drake and Kendrick, we understand.
We understand.
What I have a problem with is I don't understand why the rest of these motherfuckers are beefing.
Yeah.
Right? And having a rap beef, it makes sense. Death Row and Aftermath. I understand why Eazy-E and them had beef after NWA fell apart. All that shit makes sense to me. But what we have right now, like you said, was people who want to have beef but not have beef. And so it feels, again, clout chasey because you're trying to create some beef and now it's not feeling authentic.
Yeah.
What made the Kendrick Drake thing the beef of the century, the beef of the year, is that it was two of the biggest names in rap.
Yeah, the biggest, right?
Well, can't forget Cole.
Shout out Cole. Let's go.
Appreciate you getting out of there, Cole.
Yeah.
So they're the two biggest names in rap.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we don't fuck with each other. Matter of fact, and Kendrick will take it out. No, we don't just not fuck with each other. I don't like this nigga.
I don't like him. Nothing
and
about him.
That's what made the beef oh shit, we need to pay attention. These two niggas don't like each other.
Well, it was like a sanctioned heavyweight fight.
Yes.
For the title.
Yes.
Right?
For two people who did not like each other, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. And so it was already ooh, bad blood. Ooh, ooh WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was very much this had it built up. You know?
This is feeling very much like WrestleMania.
But that's what I'm saying. All these other storylines, it's a bunch of unsanctioned, no titles. What do you even fight
Everybody's
for?
Just running out into the cage.
Yeah.
Call it, Giovanni, call it! Hey! Oh, okay! Alright! It's Sting! Okay! It's Sting!
Backyard wrestling? Through a table. And you're just what is this, bro? What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm not having a good time with all the beef.
Yeah.
That's out there because it doesn't feel like
whole lot of beef, no rice on the plate, no salad. You got nothing, no sauce.
You gonna
on
need
it.
some vegetables, bro.
Yeah, you need to mix it up. Because right now
you gotta
it's
be able
crazy.
to process that.
It's just full protein, bro. You gotta chill out. Man. You gotta relax.
Yeah, rap is definitely in this period where it ordered the tomahawk.
Yeah.
And there any sides? No, just the meat.
And it's just rare.
Just a bleeding piece of steak, please. That's all I need. Do you want some water? No, just
yeah. No, I'll drink the blood. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm like a fucking lion. Okay, the blood is my water.
It's just and again, everyone's just leeching off of that the idea that beef is gonna take you to that next level, I guess.
Okay.
Right, and so I think I wouldn't say that rap as rap in hip hop culture have done that, but more so the people that are involved are leaning that way because they think it'll work because they see it happen in bigger situations and they're like, well, let me apply it to myself.
Okay.
right? Let me go beef with this producer or something. I don't know, like anything and everything is happening right now. It's kind of crazy.
Having beef with producers. I want to see a producer beef. I want to see them like just have a beat off.
Yeah.
Pause.
Beat off, bro? What? A beat off.
Pause.
Back to back beat off. Like, hey, yo.
Back to back beat offs.
Oh man.
Yeah, but let's like instead of let's have a beat battle.
Yeah.
And not, you know what I mean? Like, let's have a beat battle and see who comes out on top. Like, I could take that. Exactly. So we're gonna have a beat off to see who comes out on top.
Yeah. It's like, what?
That's how I'm marketing that shit. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, no,
That'd be fire though. That'd be fire, right?
But it's just like we're not getting authenticity right now, and I think that's the problem with it. Like I'm like, shit, if y'all don't like each other, let's fucking Kendrick gave y'all the map. Get out here and say whatever the fuck you got to say about this person, and let's get this shit off. Because a lot of good music, you know, it came out of that.
Came from that pressure. It was that pressure.
Some tracks out of that fucking beef, right?
Yeah, they're gonna stand the test of time.
They are.
Oh, remember the Drake and Kendrick beef?
Remember that? Damn, I still go back to that shit, you know? And I just don't think like Nicki Minaj's track Back at Meg, nobody's going back to that.
Nah.
I think that was disrespectful to beef rap.
It was disrespectful to her, right?
To Nicki?
To Nicki herself.
herself?
Yeah, no, I was like, Nicki, what?
What?
I'm going to pretend I didn't see that.
Her thought.
I'm going to pretend I didn't see
She
that.
had all her thoughts on the fucking track. Not that we're fine. She just vomited out.
Yeah, she's like, are you going to roll that back? Or are you still recording?
You going the Bigfoot route or no? All right.
Okay.
She's like, oh, shit, you recorded that? Yeah, just keep it in.
Yeah, just keep it in. Whatever. Yeah.
Fuck it. But yeah, dude, so I'm hoping we can turn the temperature down. And let's just get back to rap, and let's just get back to putting some music out. Not everything needs to be a fucking messy beef. Just put your tracks out and fuck with who you fuck with. Don't fuck with who you don't fuck with, and let's go. Let's get back to making songs.
Look, we gotta tell this to the executive producers of rap right now, because they're the ones that are over here being like, you know, it would be great for this season is if you.
So let's talk about that. Okay. So what I just heard you say were white people are driving mess in the hip hop community.
Are we surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. This is why this shit need to go back to being gay cap. We had this conversation before. Like, motherfuckers can't be like, we got to go back to, no, you can't be in here. You motherfuckers gonna have us fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the hell?
No, shit, get out of here.
They're like, what if you throw this glass? And it's like, nah, I wasn't even thinking about that at all.
But
like,
if you do,
but we'll pay you $10 million.
you know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, we'll throw the glass.
All right, well,
I mean, I throw the glass for $10 million, so that's fine.
I can't blame you for that.
That's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get there right away to where we're not gonna be entrenched in little beefs all over this war just broke out, and so there's all little mini
beefs.
wars, little mini
beefs.
mini beefs. Yeah, there's been so many pauses in this.
Little tiny beef.
Yeah, I can't. It's gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep, because people are seeing enough of a return on the clout, on the clout chasing, that they're like, why would I stop? Right. So until we stop feeding into it or it gets stale, that's when it's gonna stop. But right now, it's still very much a hot kind of commodity to then be entrenched in a beef with somebody and let it be, you know, extrapolate into whatever you can. You know, let's see how far we can take it.
All right. Well, if you have beef with me, keep it to yourself. Unless you're ready to, you know, like, hey, like, I'm ready to talk to you about it, right?
Look at, I'm gonna quote Lil Wayne. I know you don't like Lil Wayne.
He's all right.
I'm gonna quote Lil Wayne. I'm gonna say, all this beef, I need some rice on this plate. Okay, that's what he said. All this beef, I need some rice on this plate. That's what I need from rap right now. I need some rice.
Well, you know what rap needs? Vegetables. We gotta shit all of this out. You know.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. You know.
Right now,
that one where your legs go numb because you're sitting down for so long.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah, like rap needs a good
up.
laxative right now. To get all this bullshit out of here, because I was really disappointed this weekend. I was like, man, I don't think I can even listen to Lupe right now. I'll go back and listen to Lupe when I get over this, but I felt like I can't even listen to Lupe right now. Might be why I actually stepped away from listening to music for a little while. I did listen to some electronic because I don't know about any of their beefs.
I don't know. Like, it's just...
So, you know.
Yeah.
And
like beefs are happening everywhere, but like in electronic, you just wouldn't know about it at all. Besides that person being like, I'm gonna use their drum right here on this one right here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like no one else knew that you were throwing shade.
Let's find out what electronic beef looks like.
I know, I want to find out.
I want to find out.
Like, whoa.
Oh shit! Did you hear that drop? That was a shot.
Oh, she did the same thing he did on this song.
Oh yeah, like I want to figure this out. How do country people beef? You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking metalheads. How y'all get in beef?
Fucking, I don't know. Just fight, I guess. I don't know. That's what they do.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know?
So to my larger point, right? We're the only genre for R&B and for fucking rap,
right?
That has this thing where we're able to put the two people against each other,
right?
Over something, and then like, okay, well, that bitch said something to you. You better get in the fucking studio and battle back.
Yeah.
And then that person gets in the studio and then says some stuff, and then we are all critiquing it. And then I am like, all of this music is trash, so none of this matters.
Right.
But you might be like, oh, that was a good song.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Come on. Come on.
All right, that's the last time I'll mention it this week. Until you redeem yourself next week.
I gotta find those two albums quick. I'm not gonna let me live it down.
I'm not letting that go.
Live it down.
I'm not letting that go.
Fair.
I'm
fine,
not letting
whatever.
that go.
I'll take that. It's okay. It's okay. If you can dish it out, you gotta be able to take it too. You know
all right, that's fine.
What I'm trying to say.
If you want to shit on my list, I'm good. If you want to shit on my list, shit on my taste, I'm good. I'm like, all right. At least I know where you sit.
Look, here, you know how I'm going to redeem myself right now?
How?
I saw a little clip. It was Pete Rock was talking to Rosenberg and and Juan F.
Yeah.
And they were sitting down, and he was talking about when he how he produced Troy. They Reminisce Over You, right? Which I love that song. I love that song so much, right?
Okay.
And it was just cool to hear Pete Rock talk about his process of, because back then he had to like sample parts of the song, save it onto like a whatever it was, and then delete it because there wasn't enough space on the machine.
Yeah.
Right. And it was just cool, like hearing someone talk about, like historically about like how it was before, way back when, right? And that process in itself helps to like really, I guess, like speak to that, like the love of hip hop. Right, you had to love it to do something like that.
Yeah, because it was hard. Yeah,
because it was hard. Right, it took effort. Right, and that's why people care about it so much. Yeah, they're like, dude, I had to do it like this. Yeah, it took effort. It took time. Yeah, right. It took my whole like, listen.
Took me 3 days to make a fucking song.
Yeah, so I again, just to go back again. My list is my list, but of course I know who Pete Rock is. Okay, like you know. I got you. So shout out. That's all I wanted to say. It was a cool little clip I heard.
That's dope.
And it was really cool. It was really cool.
And that's you know what? That's a good. We're gonna. I'm gonna let you end on a high.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. No. And that Common and Pete Rock album, it wasn't bad. I like the production more, but I have to listen to it again. Yeah. It was an interesting album. Have you had a chance to peep it?
A little bit. That's kind of why I saw that interview, because I was like, oh shit, this came out.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of how I kind of found out about it, because they were doing a little bit of a press run on it. So
I have to start clicking on those more. My algorithm's getting a little messy. I'm just getting fucking.
Yeah, you have a messy algorithm.
Yeah.
See how it's flipped. You would think my algorithms are messy, but I'm getting people I can feel smooth.
Nah, my shit. The tiny desk ain't coming up no more. Like, nah, my shit is super messy.
You're not getting the lyrical lemonade. Or nothing.
I ain't getting none of that shit. I ain't getting no mass appeal. I ain't getting none of that shit. It's all
come on, man. What are we doing? See,
I'm getting fucking mess.
See, it's ass backwards right now. You would have thought, I'm coming in with the mess today. Nah, man, I'm coming in with the hip hop heads up.
Yeah, no, you got me there. Like, shit, I ain't been listening to none of that shit. I've just been shaking my head like
how the tables have turned.
Over you, my God.